Hi, I'm Bonnie O'Neill. I'm the Executive Director for Alpha Mid-Atlantic, and I'm here today with my friend Dave Shoemaker, who is the leader for Alpha at his church, Fellowship Alliance Chapel in Medford, New Jersey. And Dave's here to tell you his Alpha Online story. So Dave, tell me, you've been the leader for Alpha at your church for 7 years, is that right?
Yep, it's been about 7 years. I was involved for quite a while before that, bringing guests, but yes, leading it for about 7 years.
Yeah, your church has run it for closer to 20, is that right?
I think it goes back to about 20 years. Somebody had visited Holy Trinity Brompton and came back, and it's been about 2 decades. Yep.
That's terrific. And you guys don't just run Alpha once a year, not even twice a year, but 3 times a year with about close to 100 people each time. Is that right?
Yeah, the guest count is about 100 each session, and we do it fall, winter, and spring. Pretty much just don't do it during summer vacation. The philosophy is just have Alpha always running. So.
That is terrific. And so you guys had just finished your winter alpha when COVID hit. And so, as you told me, you had decided that you weren't going to do the spring online alpha. You were just going to sit that out and resume again in the fall. But that didn't actually happen, did it? As I understand, you had a big alpha this spring.
That's right. That is not the story. So, as I like to say, I sat back and thought about it, and in my own wisdom, made a great decision that I was not going to run Alpha for a few different reasons, and that we would just hit pause because of COVID. So that was my decision, but God had other plans. And I would like to say that God was tapping me on the shoulder or whispering in my ear, but actually what happened was he continued to hit me over the head with a 2x4 until I finally turned around and said, okay, Lord, that's what you want me to do. That's what I'm going to do. So then I started to make calls with different people in our church and tried to really one thing led to another, and we actually decided to launch Alpha Online for the spring session. Yeah.
That's great. And how did it go?
It was really fantastic. It was, I guess there was a couple things we were really concerned about. One was the technology, and the other one was, could we really have an alpha that was personal? That was probably my reason for holding it off. It's like, how can you have a personal alpha in an online presence? And what happened was, first, the technology, that's just something to figure out. So we just figured out the nuts and the bolts. We enlisted the help of Alpha USA and a lot of help from you and a lot of really talented people, and we just figured that out. So that very quickly went away. And as far as connecting with people, that was really the only way we could in April, and it continues to be the only way that we can with most people. But we found that if we push through and you really reach out, people are dying to connect. So we were very pleasantly surprised. And one of the cool things that happened was our normal spring alpha usually has about 75 guests. So, we might have 125 in the fall, but it was always lighter in the spring. So actually, I believe the first night we had 125 guests. So not only did we have as many people that normally would want to take Alpha, we had a whole lot more that were really excited to join Alpha. So those two things we were concerned about pretty much just went away, and God provided, and the need was there, the desire was there, and God had those people in place ready to go.
That's so great. And, we always love to hear the alpha stories, the big success stories. What can you share one or two things that came out of this special online alpha that wouldn't have happened in a different environment?
One of the really neat things about online alpha is that, well, first of all, we hope to just continue. So COVID or not, if the whole world goes back to normal next year, we hope to continue to run online because we can invite anyone from anywhere. At one point we had, well, all through online, we had several states represented. So, if you have that brother, that sister, that friend, that's whether they're an hour away or across the country, you can literally just ask them to join online alpha. And if that's always part of the alpha that you're running, then you can always be inviting people that you normally couldn't. So that was really exciting. Several states represented. That was really neat to see that. The other thing was there was a lot of people in our community that normally couldn't make it from things like babysitting. There were couples in my group that joined in. They always wanted to do it together, but with their kids and their schedules, they could never really do it together in person, but they were able to do it online. So it was very exciting. And one of my biggest concerns, as I mentioned, was really connecting with people. One of the groups connected so well that there were, people came to Christ, just started their faith journey, and the group gelled so much. Afterwards, now they're in an online and sometimes in-person Bible study community. I heard there was just great stories of baptisms down by Ocean City, and it was just phenomenal what they did in that group. So a lot of really exciting stories. So way past just the little concerns that I had, God was ready to do some great things.
That's so great. Thanks so much, Dave, for sharing your Alpha Online story with everyone today. And I hope his story just really inspires you, anyone who's just kind of sitting on the fence about whether or not to run an Alpha Online this fall or even beyond this time. I hope you'll consider doing that. Thanks for listening. God bless.